Ladies and gentlemen, now today we're going to be breaking down how to easily beat the uncollected version of Silver Surfer, and just throw it out there, man. If you have Ronan, he is like the ultimate cheese option this month. If you're a skilled player, even a 3-star version of Ronan is going to work, because you just need to get to one special one and then play aggressively, and he's permanently stun locked. So yeah, Ronan is just an ultimate cheese this month, but I know many people in the comments section will be like, I don't want to use Ronan, or I don't have Ronan. So don't worry, boys, I've whipped out the 6-star Loki and many other champions today to show you all the stuff you need to know to absolutely dominate this fight. On its own, Silver Surfer really isn't that bad to fight. However, there are kind of two things that make this version of Silver Surfer a little bit annoying to fight, and by far the biggest one is the life cycle node, because it means you need to end the fight in a certain way in order to KO him, and also the passive power gain, if he has more buffs than you, is really annoying as well, man, because that can quickly ramp up, especially if he does have his power gain passive and special 3 you, and if you take that special 3, you are absolutely ruined. We're going to be talking about a lot of champions that you can use today, but the rule is that generally, outside of the Ronan Cheese, Nullify and Stagger champions are somewhat the best way to go, but there are a few characters outside of that that really do shine for various reasons. So let's talk about some of the stuff you need to be aware of, and then talk about some of the best champions. So before we get into the uncollected nodes, let's have a chat about two things you need to be aware of on the base of Silver Surfer. So the first thing is when he is charging his heavy attack, he's going to phase for a second and a bit and consume his power cosmic buff. So essentially for this one, you need to not punish his heavy attack, because if you try and punish his heavy attack, most of the time he's just going to phase and then immediately combo you, so something you need to be kind of aware of there. Also, if you do not bring in a nullified champion, his special 2 after it, he's going to be unblockable for 4 seconds. So, ideally, Ronan Cheese or Nullified champions, but if you're not using any Nullify or Ronan, you need to be aware after that special 2, most of the time, he's going to be unblockable for 4 seconds. So, at his base, those are really the only two things you need to really look out for. However, also, he's going to be gaining, like, random power gain, fury, armor throughout the fight, and also with the uncollected nodes, like, even more fury, even more armor. There's a lot of stuff going on, especially with buffs in this fight, man. He's gaining them like crazy. So this allows him to benefit most of the time, unless you're using a nullified champion or Venom. He's going to have this passive power gain from the rich get richer node, which is pretty much Marvel Contest of Champions, that line right there. But whichever champion has more unique buffs gains 9% of a bar of power every second. So, most of the time he's going to have this passive power gain unless you use a nullified champion, which is a little bit annoying. But the really annoying node is the life cycle node. Now, life cycle has like 2 different components to it, and the first one is debuffs deal no damage. So stuff like bleed and poison deal absolutely no damage, however they still apply, which is good for the despair synergy for the second part of this. So the second part is that Silver Surfer is going to have a shield that prevents him from being knocked out, and if this shield is not already disabled, knocking down Silver Surfer disables it for half a second, and every time you knock him down, that increases by half a second up to 3.5 seconds, and if he has the shield active, he's instantly going to regenerate back up to 10%. So kind of the goal is for the last 10% is you got to knock him down with a heavy attack and then either throw a special 2 or special 3 to get this man down. So again, if you haven't fought life cycle before, it is going to be an annoying node, so kind of just expect that, but once you kind of get used to dealing with it and finishing it off with a heavy and then special 2 or special 3, it actually becomes quite straightforward. But the first time you fight it, man, it is not probably going to be a fun time. So, just keep that in mind. That is going to take a bit of practice in order to get the timing down on it. But don't worry, we're about to load you up with some of the best counters out there to Silver Surfer. So the helpful utility or ideal utility that you're looking for is Nullify and Stagger to remove all of the buffs. Power Lock to remove the specials is really good as well. Power Drain to mitigate the amount of specials. The specials aren't too tricky, but they are like a little bit annoying, especially with that power gain as well. Lots of buffs, you can steal that passive power gain for yourself. Taunt is really good if you don't have any of the other options, just because it will encourage him to keep on throwing his specials. So She-Hulk, Stark, Spidey there. Stun on special attacks is so helpful for like that final bit of the life cycle, because if you throw a special, it stuns, then you can just go straight in and combo your opponent down like after that while life cycle shield isn't active. So stun on special attacks, if you're having a hard time in that last bit, could be really, really helpful. Also helpful, as always, is really any champion with decent damage can get life cycle down, but ideally damage from passive debuffs can be really valuable once you've got that shield down to just nuke the opponent, and there are a couple of champions that do this really, really well. But anyway, in terms of best counters, we got Ronan, Stun, Lock, and Win, by far the easiest option for anybody looking for a cheese there. Symbiote Supreme, Nullify and Stagger. We've got Magik for the power drain and lock. Corvus Glaive for lots of damage there. Void is really good because even though life cycle means that the champion is immune from debuffs, they're not immune to Void's damage and also Mr. Fantastic's damage, because it kind of comes in like a different form that it's based off like how many debuffs you've got on the opponent and not the actual debuffs themselves dealing damage. So it's a little bit of a weird one, but that passive damage kind of bypasses the blocking to debuff damage, if that makes sense. And also Void can heal block, which reduces the like 10% revival regeneration from life cycle. So, you know, it's a very easy kill for the final bit if you can get a couple of debuffs up on Void there. Archangel, very unexpectedly, opponents do take damage from neurotoxins. So not the bleed, not the poison, but if you can convert those, gonna take a lot of damage from the neurotoxins there, which is really, really nice. Dr. Doom works an absolute treat there for the Nullify and Stagger. Venom for the Nullify and lots of buffs as well, so you can steal that power gain, just spam the special one, and you are absolutely laughing with Venom. We got a really good Venom kill coming up if you want to see it. Also Clairvoyant for the Nullify. I've seen Starkanaut Spider-Man work quite well for a couple of players with the Taunt and also assisted evade on the specials, man. Just makes it a really easy time there. Dr. Voodoo with his Nullify and also heal block with the poison in the final phase. Just keeps him at 1% during life cycle, which is really nice. And then just heavy and KO with special 3. Also got Scarlet Witch for the Nullify, Ghost Rider for the Nullify, Morning Star with the Nullify, Hood has Nullify and also Fate Seal, Loki has Buff Steal, Doctor Strange's Awakened ability can spam Nullify on the opponent. Moving down, we got Mr. Fantastic, works very well for the same reasons that Void does as well, if you can get him ramped up there. Also Hyperion, lots of damage, stun on the special 2, you've got a very good special 3 as well, just perfect for that final phase if you need a good finisher there. Then we got Medusa, lots of damage output, also the armor breaks can, you know, reduce some of the healing in the life cycle phase as well, so can work out there. Cat Marvel movie, you got lots of damage, stun on the special 2 for life cycle as well. Aegon, if you get this man ramped up, lots of damage, plus you got the stun on the special 3, which is ridiculously long, so you know, you've got plenty of opportunity to finish the fight after that. Thing for lots of damage. She-Hulk, you've got Taunt plus great damage there. Dr. Octopus Power Lock. Luke Cage, you've got stun on the special 1. You can probably tank special 3s with Luke Cage's Awakened ability as well, and also Exhaustion. You should be able to reverse some of the passive power gain if you're playing very aggressively and or with Sunspot as well. So Luke Cage, man, could be an interesting option for some. Mephisto, you got the Fate Seal at the start of the fight and also on special 1s as well. And then Man-Thing, you have the Nullify on the special 2 and also standard hits for agitation. But overall, man, there are a lot of potential solutions. And again, this isn't to list like every single champion, just a lot of champions that I've seen work very, very well for players so far. So let me know in the comments section below if you have a really good counter to Silver Surfer that we've missed out. But anyway, let's dive into some Silver Surfer fights. So first up on the fight breakdown, we have Venom. So Venom, again, is really good for 2 reasons. The spam Nullify on the special 1, but also because he gains so many buffs and is generating so many more buffs from spamming special 1. Most of the time, he's going to have more power gain than Silver Surfer. So I do start this fight, man, by messing up to a couple of special 1s. This is one of my earlier fights where I didn't quite have the timing down yet. But the rule for the special 1 is you got to get that dash back time in, and as soon as you see that board disappear under Silver Surfer, that is exactly when you want to dash back because it comes around so quickly. So yeah, we get hit by that one. We are down to 48% already, so it's not really looking that great. However, I think this fight actually does a lot to showcase the potential power of Venom's regeneration. This is just like the god tier ideal scenario for Venom here. So we dodge that special 2 as soon as the board, you know, disappears under Silver Surfer and comes up under us. So with Venom, it's a very nice cycle of just baiting out special attacks, spamming your special 1, 1, and most of the time you can see we have the passive power gain from the Rich Get Richer node, which is awesome, because it just means it's a special 1 spam fiesta, really helps to kind of nullify even more and just keep this fight pretty much under perfect control. But you ideally, unless you're looking to finish this fight, you do not want to throw the special 2, but also Venom's unblockable special attacks in the very final phase are additionally useful, because it just means you can go for a heavy and then just like wild out on that special 2 or special 3 and like always get the KO, so that's really nice there. But unfortunately, as we did mention as well with the life cycle node, it causes bleeds to deal no damage, so the damage output of Venom is a little bit reduced in this matchup, but it's still not like a super long matchup for a 5-star rank for Venom. So we push Silver Surfer to his special 2, and the special 2 is very menacing. It's like 4 dashbacks in a row. You've essentially, with the special 2, you just got to spam dashback. Like, it is literally hammering that dashback as quickly and as hard as you can is really just the way to deal with it. So it's a little bit of a menacing one, but it's not too bad once you get used to it. So here, I don't think we had the best finish for Venom. We go for a special 2, get those Fury buffs, and I think we just go in for a combo, because the life cycle, you know, it's got such a long duration from all those special 1s that I'm like, oh yeah, that'll probably get the job done. So that's not really the ideal way to do it if you want like super safety, but you know, it still works. Now, next up, we have Loki, and Loki works an absolute treat in this fight, man. Any scenario where there's a lot of buffs that he can steal, Loki is just a really good champion for. And Silver Surfer, he has a lot of buffs, and you can steal a lot of those buffs as well. So we go for a special 1 here, we get all of the buffs. Also, because we steal the buffs, we also then get the passive power gain as well. So there's just so much stuff that goes really nicely in this fight in the Loki matchup. So yeah, your 6-star Lokis, lads. Bring them out of retirement for Silver Surfer. They're going to do a little bit of work here and there. But you really want to get to the special 3 on Loki, ideally. Here, I did fail again at the special 1, man. Just didn't have the timing down quite yet. But it's just all about looking underneath his feet and seeing when that surfboard is disappearing. So right now is the time to dash back, but again, we failed at that. So a little bit of a rough start, man, but much like in the Venom matchup, we had a pretty good comeback. So here we get clipped by the special 1 again. So I really did get battered toward the start of this fight, man. This is definitely why I cropped like the first bit out toward the start of the video. But we're now on the solid comeback, lads. We get that full evade, the board disappears, we dash back there, we are back on the case, and this Silver Surfer, he's going down. We're going for the kill, the special 2, we spam 4 dashbacks in a row, and then counter that man immediately, and that's what you can do after the special 2. There's a very good opportunity after you got that 4th dashback on the deck to just go in and slap that man up after the final like surfboard spin around. So as soon as you see that spin, just go in, punish him every single time. The special 2, it is really menacing, man, and I think for some of my first tries today, like, I did fail quite badly at it, but once you get used to the fact that literally you just need to like dash back as hard as you possibly can on every special 2, then it does become fairly straightforward to deal with. But again, it's going to do a number on your thumbs, lads, so just be prepared, because honestly, fighting this man, I think I've fought him like about 10 times today. Yeah, my thumbs have got a proper good workout from all that dodging of the special 2. But he's a fun fight, like, once you do get used to it. So we fire off the special 3 here, so any buffs that he gets, any armor, any fury is being siphoned back to us, so that is just, it's so good for Loki, man. He's honestly just having a proper laugh in this fight. So we're looking now to kind of extend, I think, the life cycle a little bit more, also refresh the buff from the special 3. So here we go for a special 2. He's very close to going down, but not quite yet. I think we go for another heavy there just to refresh the curse, because it's important to try and keep that up when we can. And then I think we're trying to bait out a special 2 here, because Loki unfortunately does not have any way to power control, so unfortunately we did lose the curse there, but he's very close to dying. So here I see a great opportunity, parry straight into a heavy attack, and Loki's special 2 is unblockable, so we fire that straight off, and there we go, Silver Surfer's down. Now, after a couple of sloppy fights, we've got a slightly more clean one with our 4-star version of Doctor Doom, who I love, man. I'm such a big fan of Doctor Doom, but he works really well in this matchup. Nice little evade on the special 1 there. As soon as you see that surfboard disappear from underneath him, you just got to dash back. That is the magical time in there, and you can punish every single time if you do that. So he's still got, you know, a fair bit of power gain and one armor up buff that I didn't get rid of just in time. However, we're about to push to the special 3 here. We apply a stagger, and then we can get the power control underway with Doom as well. But also, one of the reasons Dr. Doom is just so awesome for this fight is just all the back-to-back specials you can throw are really handy for the last part of life cycle as well. You just chuck loads of those off in order to kind of burn through the life cycle regeneration. So yeah, it's really nice as you're going to see. But before that, we want to ramp up the damage a little bit more and get a second special 3 in order to double stack up the Furies here. So we fire that off, and our damage is starting to, you know, hopefully go up a fairly decent amount after this. But also, Silver Surfer, he's an alright matchup for Dr. Doom, but he's also like a naturally Incinerate immune character. Well, he's not immune to Incinerate, but he will take no damage, which is, you know, pretty much the same thing. After that last special 3, though, straight into a good special 1, we siphoned and drained a load of power back to Dr. Doom. We fire off a special 2. He's at 17% now. We just going for a standard combo. I should have played it a little bit more aggressively here. We go for another combo because my light attacks are not giving him any power. Then we fire off a special 1 to get rid of life cycle, straight into unblockable special 2 as well, and that man is absolutely toast. So Dr. Doom, if you got him, early access, 4-star, 5-star, 6-star champion, absolutely ridiculous matchup there. Another matchup that works really, really well in the Mystic class is the Magik matchup. So she doesn't have a lot of nullify, but you know, if you've just got this man power locked in the corner, then there really isn't too much to worry about. So she completely shuts this fight down. However, it does start to get a little bit scary when you're playing with Magik. And looking back toward the end of the fight, you're gonna see a play that, like, looking back, I wish I'd done this like a little bit differently, just because he gains so many buffs, man. The buffs are gonna stack up to honestly like a pretty crazy level very, very shortly. You're also gonna see another almost I got wrecked mistake here. So he fires off the heavy, we go to punish, he phases it, so I almost got ruined there, man. I was very, very lucky that he didn't attack into me. So you just got to be, you know, very careful of that heavy attack if he is the cosmic power buff, and that's kind of like that blue swirly one that you see like to the far right hand side of Silver Surfer's buffs. So, you know, keep an eye out for that, but there is a lot to keep out for this fight. You can reliably, you know, always parry him, so, you know, maybe don't worry too much about punishing the heavy unless you're feeling very, very confident. But as you can see, this fight's going really well, man. We just got in power lock for most of the time here. Unfortunately, I do make the same phase mistake again. I was very, very lucky again not to get punished there. So the Will of Caban Michael is still keeping my Magik alive, and she's doing fairly decently, man. However, you do notice at this point that the Fury and also the armor is getting a little bit crazy. And I think what I could have done here was throw a heavy attack and then a special 3, and I think it would have been enough damage, like easily, to one-shot Silver Surfer. And I'm kicking myself I didn't use the heavy there, man, because it was just a really bad play. But if you are using Magik, don't make the same mistake as me. Use that heavy attack before the massive damage special 3. So after this, I kind of realized my mistake. We dodge a special 1 there, and then we go for, I think, another parry at this point, straight into a heavy attack. Then we wait for life cycle to come down, because it's not going to come down until the opponent is actually knocked down. So, you know, keep that in mind. You can't just go heavy straight into special 3. It's heavy, wait till the opponent gets knocked down, and then special 3. So, you know, just a little thing in regards to the timing there. But yeah, really good kill from Magik. Then finally, we've got the Cheese Lord of this month's Uncollected, Ronan. I thought I'd include the full kill as well, because some people might be curious to see how this fight works. But it is really as simple as described at the start of this video. You get to a special 1, you win the game. That is literally it when it comes to Ronan, because Silver Surfer, with like his armor node and also the Fury, it's kind of mainly the armor that actually procs in this fight. But like with the armor, man, it's just ridiculous. The stun duration is absolutely crazy. So as long as you're doing like those short-on combos and taking full advantage of every single stun, then this fight, you know, it literally couldn't be easier, man. It's just so straightforward. So we go for, I think, a double medium there, straight into another 5 combo. We're back up to a special 1, and the earlier in the fight, like, the less buffs he has as well. So the more this fight progresses, because of the armor node and also sometimes the Fury node, it looks like every special 1 does have like that weakness, which does get rid of the Fury, but the armor is just going to keep stacking up. up, and for most of the time, if you are playing aggressively, you're going to see 6, maybe 7 stacks of armor. So yeah, it's just ridiculous. You can really capitalize on this with Ronan's Awakened ability, and like even a 3-star Awakened version, 4-star Awakened version is going to have a really easy time against the Silver Surfer. Even if you have a 2-star Awakened version, providing you can survive to that first special one, it should be fine as well. I can, you know, bet my bottom dollar that in a week's time there are going to be plenty of 2-star Ronan takedowns of Silver Surfer on YouTube, because there always are. You know, Ronan works the same way. There are buffs, you stun, you keep them stunned, you win. That's how this fight works. So, you know, it's up to you at the end of the day which strategy you want to use. If you want to use the Ronan strat, it's super easy, super quick. I don't blame you. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy today's video breakdown, please do smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Aside from that, take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.